Happy Wednesday, guys. Welcome back to Inside the Lines. March Madness is finally here. We got some playing games last night. We have some more to go over today. But of course, we got college baseball. We got MLB. We got an entire NBA slate to get through as well. And as always, your questions. So get them going in the chat. I'll be looking out for everyone's questions, comments, concerns. Before we get to that, let's take a look back at Tuesday, okay? What goes up must come down. That is how this works. But when I see all the red, all I see is potential for a big ceiling today. How do you guys feel about that?
Let's look at the 2 days combined. Let's combined that they look fine. It's just, in isolation.
Good thing
I
is
want to talk about Ryan Dunn having 5 rebounds with 19 minutes left in the game and finishing with 5. Just Virginia as a whole, I thank goodness I don't have to watch them play again this year.
Him and Franz Wagner can walk off together,
I know. They just stopped.
Franz, that was ridiculous.
Pace be damned.
At least Franz Wagner won by a lot.
Well, it ended up killing me because he didn't play the fourth quarter. I was like, guys, slow it down. I need a little more minutes from my guy here. That was a really frustrating bet, but whatever. That's okay. We do only have 3 minutes before one of our bets takes off here. So let's go to our college baseball bet quick from Jake here. We got a money line play.
Yeah, I'm just going St. Mary's -105 versus UNLV. It was at +110 this morning. This game starts at 5:05 Eastern time, so in 3 minutes. So get it while you still can. UNLV won this matchup 8-7 yesterday. We have St. Mary's is the better team overall, so I expect them to split this doubleheader, Tuesday, Wednesday games. So I'm going with St. Mary's as the underdog here, the slight underdog.
Perfect. I'm in. I like the value there. All right, let's head into the good stuff here. We got some playing games. Hopefully they're a little more entertaining than last night here. We'll start with Grambling State, Montana State. Very exciting stuff here. Do we have any value on this game and the spread in general?
Yeah, we have value on
Montana State.
Yeah, I think they have them winning by 8 or 9, and they're 4.5 5-point favorites in half. So we have slight value. I was looking to pair them with something in the parlay, but I learned yesterday it's not fun betting on NIT because some of these teams just aren't really in it anymore. But if you see a side that you like, I don't mind playing their money line. But -4.5, don't love it, don't hate it, especially because it feels like the playing games that are close are really close. They're either really close or blowouts. I think that this game's probably going to be a pretty close game. I think both games today should be pretty close games.
Well, anything could be better than what we saw last night from UVA because that was just actually really hard to watch. It hurt my eyes, I think. All right, well, let's talk about 2 player props you do have for this game. Watching or not, still make some money on here.
Yeah, so I'm going with Antoine Burnett for Grambling over 15.5 points and rebounds. I think this is hit well over 60. I think it's hit in 7 of the last 8 games, which is the big thing why I like it. I'm done with going with points unders after the guy went unconscious yesterday for Wagner. So I'm done with the points unders. I'll go with the under 3-point made, but the points unders was just and he got a possible 3-point play taken off too, and he still hit the total easily. So that was not pretty, but he was taking contested shots and he was just making everything. So I didn't hate the play.
I think it just shows he must be a listener, because what else could incentivize him?
I think it's just a sign that we were never meant to be taking unders. We're just not an under type of crew, okay? It's just not in our blood.
But Burnett, we have with 17. Yeah, we are going with it under. But
my bad.
But we're going with 3 overs, 1 under, so can't.
Jake doesn't actually learn from mistakes. He just likes to keep plowing through, And anyway,
no, I figured that a 3-point made is safer than just a points under. Especially this guy Jordan Smith. The last time he had 3 straight games with a 3-point made was in January of 2023. So over a year ago was the last time he had 3 straight games with.
I predict him what's going to happen again on March 20th. Right.
So I just think we have him at 0.4 3-point made. He's coming off a game where he made 3 threes. I think it might be his career high. So maybe he has some confidence, but it's still there's plenty of games. Like I think before the streak, he had 5 games where he maybe attempted 1 3 in those 5 games combined. So there's a good chance he doesn't even attempt a 3. So that's what I'm hoping, and that'll be nice and easy if he doesn't do that.
I almost want to watch this game just to see if he does or not. Like if he does, and we get a raw reaction.
Come right out. He's gonna fire right out.
Well, I'm hoping. Yeah, I'm hoping on the first play of the game they give him a 3-point. He bricks it so bad that he doesn't want to shoot again for the rest of the game. Or airballs it, and they just chant airball every time he touches the ball. So
exactly.
Just hopefully that happens.
Love that. All right, let's move on to the other game here. The 10 seeds looking to play Florida, Colorado versus Boise State. Boise State 3-point underdogs here. We got 2 player props for this game as well.
Yeah, we like Boise to win this game. I think we have Boise with -1.5, -2 in the Sims. It's been going back and forth between -1 and -2. So we like the value on Boise money line here, even though I think Boise kind of got screwed having to play Colorado and playing in the Mountain West as a whole. They got the short end of the stick. Boise's 0-9 all time in the NCAA tournament, which includes playing games. And a lot of these games that they played good teams like LaSalle, and I think 2014 when LaSalle made the Sweet 16 run, they had to play Boise in the first 4 game. So Boise's gotten the short end of the stick a couple of times. But Cody Williams, he is 0-for-5 in his last 5 games. He's attempted 1 3-pointer in all 5 of those games. 0-1 in all 5 of those games. But he's a 42% 3-point shooter on the season. If he attempts 1, I'm hoping he goes 1 for 6 out of the last 6 games. Just a little bounce back here at plus money. I think he's at plus 114. I'm not sure if it's plus 105. I think it's plus 114, which is better value.
Yeah. I like that. Listen, nothing I like more than hearing the volume, okay? I don't give a shit about anything other than the attempts. That's all I'm looking for here. And if shooters shoot, one's got to drop. I like that on plus money. All right, we got one more player prop here on the other side of the ball.
Yeah, Omar Stanley over 12.5 points. Stanley averages 14 points away from home compared to 12.3 at home. So he's better performing on the road. I think it's a good matchup for him against De Silva, who is athletic but isn't the best defender. So I think this is a good opportunity for Omar Stanley to score.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yep.
And also friendly reminder, if you're filling out your bracket, we actually like both these teams to beat Jake's Florida team. And that's not just so Jake gets a reverse jinx. That's a genuine model thing. So if you fill out your bracket and just assume that the 7 seed would advance over the play-in winner, then you might want to go back.
Yeah. And one of these play-in teams is going to win a game. So we like it to be one of these 2 teams of all the 7-10 or obviously 116 matchups. All right. Nice little stat from Derek here. Boise 0-9 all time in the NCAA tournament.
1-9.
Wow.
So you could actually get Cody Williams over half a 3 at plus 125 on BetMGM, plus 130 on Bet365. So a lot better than the plus 105. I think it was plus 114 on DraftKings earlier. Now it's plus 124. What I said then, yeah. So plus 124. I think Mackenzie's trying to take my money away from me.
I don't know. I'm looking at your message right now that you sent me. It says Cody Williams plus 105.
Really? Oh, that's my bad.
Right at it. Whatever. We can handle this later. All right, let's move on here. Any more questions about these lovely Hollywood games? We are happy to answer in the chat, but let's move on to the NBA here. We'll focus a little bit more with Steven's stuff. Let Jake enter the chat with this. Let's head over to the model. We got some good games tonight. My Detroit Pistons that I've now claimed. Indiana going over to Detroit. Indiana's still 9-point favorites, but
yeah, and I'll go ahead. Duran did not have a double-double last game, so might want to. He always has a bunch in a row, so he's due for a double-double. So if the odds aren't crazy, like minus 200, then I would go with that. But I'm going to go with, earlier we were talking in the chat about liking Cade Cunningham over points, over rebounds, over assists. So I'm going to go with the over turnovers because the model has him at 3.6. The odds imply around 61%, the later odds. So I'm looking for trends that would support maybe a 70% chance plus of having 3 turnovers. The home trend is 70%. The last month is 77%. Last 7 is 85%. And his 3 highest PRAs recently were games that he had 5 turnovers in each of them. So when he's playing well offensively, he's also going to turn the ball over.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's fair. It's a nice way to still support our Detroit Pistons here.
Yeah.
So do we have Duran projected for a double-double?
Yeah, we have him averaging, with a healthy 12 rebounds. So that's basically, we would have him closer to like 80% plus of getting the points and 70% of getting the rebounds. So, we would have over 50% chance of a double-double. So, but I don't know what his best price
I'm looking
is.
right now on odds.
I just posted it. His best price is minus 175 on FanDuel. It's already up to minus 245 on DraftKings. So
now that I mentioned it, his points is probably more like 90% if he plays the minutes. So it's probably like more like a 90-70. So it's a 63% chance. So it's fun. Minus 175.
I wonder how many Pistons train too. Let's go. It's a move.
Out of curiosity, how many times Jalen Duren didn't have a double-double, missed a double-double more than twice in a row? I don't see anything except for going back to February 13th and 14th, right before the break, where he had 2 straight non-double doubles.
I might have to do that. I might have to parlay Jalen Duren double-double with the Montana State game. That's my official play.
There you go. I saw someone in the chat asking about Ivy over 3.5 assists. If I read that correctly, it looks like we have him for 4.6.
Yeah, we have a lot of overs, so we we love that. I think he's one of those players who gets more assists at home, if I recall.
Mm-hmm. All right. Good to know. We'll move on here. I don't see any other questions for that game. Miami headed to Cleveland. Slight steam towards Miami here. Are they missing some people? Oh, Cleveland's missing people. Strus and Mitchell.
Both are, but Hero and I think Butler's always this game time decision, but he's got his prop lines out. I think he'll play. But it's Hero and guys like Kevin Love who are out for Miami. But Cleveland's the one who's missing Donovan Mitchell and Strus. So I'm going to go with Niang. His line's gone up, unfortunately. I had plus 100 at 11.5. I think it's like the minus 120. This plus 100 was there an hour ago, so it seems like people are putting in their bets now. Mm-hmm. I don't think the season trends, which indicate unders, apply when Strus and Mitchell are out. The last 7 games where one or both of those have been out, 6-1 with a 14-point average. Bounced back from an 0 for 6 3-point night on March 11th. That was his one under. He's 9 for 15 from 3 his last 3 games.
How about some other players here? We'll look at Darius Garland. His rebound line 2.5.
We have 2.8, so that's an easy number to reach.
That is. Those are one of those where I feel like you could accidentally get 3 rebounds.
We don't have LeVert over 6.5 assists. He's been getting a major run, and usually that means he's been loading up both points, all stat sheet. But I never think of LeVert as a great passer at 6.5. It scares me.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's head on over here to Milwaukee, going to Boston. I am on Bobby Portis over 1.5 3 points made at plus 126 as part of my 20 into 500. I got $10 on that. Might as well speak my case here while I have it all in my head. Went 5 for 5 on Sunday, and not that I'm looking for 5 for 5 again, but I like the idea of the volume without Giannis on the court. I had 4 attempts and 3 attempts the other 2 games without Giannis. So I'm thinking maybe he wants to pick up a big role here. Just looking for 2. That's a good plus money value here. Think it's worth the sprinkle or half of your bank account that you have for 20 into 500.
I think that's a great bet. I would love that. I look for my best values early in the day before the lines move, and I was hoping to get Portis because Giannis was not ruled out yet, so the lines hadn't posted. But I love that one. I'm going to go over Drew Holiday over 10.5 points. He's missed a game, and it's a right elbow injury, I believe. And I assume that he'll sit if he can't come back and not just play defense and not shoot. If there's any player that might actually just play defense and not shoot, it is Drew Holiday. So that would be horrible. But so the line reflects that concern that with his price at just 10.5 points and not too bad on the over, considering he averages almost 13 a game. So again, I just think that it's still the revenge game, right? There's still, there's a sense of drama here, and he's played twice against his former team, and he's only averaged 5.5 points. He's shot, I want to say something like 3 for 17 from the field in those 2 games. So I think that he's not going to be have 3 stinkers against Milwaukee.
All
or
right.
he'll sit.
Yeah, that is also possible. I see some questions more about Bobby Portis here. His points and assists line 17.5.
Oh yeah, we love that. We have at 20.
Oh, sounding good for my boy Bobby here and the rest of the CBS office that we have all taken this bet together. All right, let's move on here. I think those are all the questions for that game that I see. Lillard 10.5 rebounds and assists. Do we have anything on?
Probably, because I think we have 11.1 rebounds and assists.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's move along here then. We'll head over to Sacramento going to Toronto. I also use this play that you gave me, Steven, too, as well, with Gary Trent over 2.5 assists here. Like you said, a lot of injuries going on, no point guards essentially. So somebody has to be passing the ball. That is how that works. And in that sample size of the last 3 games, he has gone over this in 2 of them with this depleted Raptors lineup, as Steven mentioned. So should be some opportunity, even though shouldn't be an awesome game for Toronto. 3 assists feels very doable.
Yeah, and they're going to need his scoring as well. So just when he's been playing 34-plus minutes, 9 highest minute games this season, over is 5 and 4, and that's with playing with a point guard or Scotty Barnes, other guys who get a decent number of assists.
Right. Good stuff there.
We need some friendly home scorekeepers, not like the jerk in Orlando who decided not to give Franz his 4th assist and so easily could have without anyone noticing except for us.
No. Well, that was the craziest tease of all time. For those who weren't here this morning, obviously, in our meeting, my sister's boyfriend texted me the minute he saw he got 4 assists. And he was like, oh, my God, like, let's go. And then I went and checked, and I kept refreshing. And I'm like, there's no 4 there. And he's like, they literally just took it away.
Yeah, it's like my Sabonis blocks.
Yes, it's absolutely criminal. Speaking of Sabonis, he got triple-double value at plus 215.
Yeah.
Worth a shot.
I love it. I mean, he's been rebounding. His scoring is obviously kind of a no-brainer, and his rebounding has been insane. What's his lineup today? 14.5 maybe?
Doing at 16.5. I don't think I've ever seen those projections.
Yeah, so he's a lock for a double-double. So at 8 assists, that roughly translates to around 40% chance of getting 10. So it really comes down. That's the only thing you have to be concerned on. If you get plus 215, that's less than a 33% chance implied. So we have a good 13 percentage points of value, probably 12 percentage points of value on him to get a triple-double.
All right. I like that. I also like the play Jake just put in the chat a lot. I almost wish this would have been really good for my 20 into 500. Using my Detroit Pistons, too, that would have been crazy. You can get Ivy over 3.5 assists, parlay with Duran double-double at plus 175 at the good old Hard Rock. Shout out the state of Florida.
Norris's line's at 15.5, Steven. That's crazy. I don't think I've seen a line that high in a while.
Yeah, and it was 13.5 just his last game.
Yeah.
So
and he had 18.
And that's showing the sports books aren't concerned that it's going to be a blowout Kings win, then he'll sit for a quarter, or they wouldn't have priced that so high, or maybe just so many people are just pounding the over that they're seeing us all as a bunch of suckers.
Yeah, the best price on the over is Caesars at plus 102.
I wish I could be a more trusting person, but I'm not. I know some of the people who have businesses who started like opening lines and things like that, and they're shockingly want to win bets. I always assume they went to that industry thinking it's an easy way to get a vig, get a juice, like serve opening lines to sports books, share in 25% of the 10%, and everyone's happy. No, these are all bettors who want to beat you.
Yeah, it's just wrong.
So just a lesson to learn to wise, which is why our model likes to focus on replicating odds makers' objective lines as opposed to trying to pick the spread.
Mm-hmm. Looks like the chat's getting ready for this OKC Utah game here. We got Josh Giddey. The people are on. We got his PRA. We got his points in general. I like this Chet play a lot. No longer at even money, but I still really, really like it. Yeah,
the problem is this is a blowout. Oklahoma City hasn't been playing well recently, so I'm hoping that keeps it close enough for the players to actually play their somewhat near normal allotment, but it does have blowout potential with market and out. So the model is 8, and I wasn't going to go with who's that dude for Utah that, didn't deliver. Yeah, no. Taylor Hendricks. Taylor Hendricks. I statistically, I should go with Hendricks. Reasoning wise, I should go with Hendricks, but I'm not. But if he goes over, then I still get credit for it. Chet Holmgren, 18 points is a projection. Obviously, a nice, strong home over trend, even though his average is the same as it is on the road. I think it's a buy low opportunity. For the odds makers to price it at, a full more than a point under his average is a buy low because again, it's 6-2 under. But he broke out of that little low point with 22 his last game. And even though in his last 2 unders, he still shot well. He still shot 5 for 9 from 3-point range. So again, this is more of a volume play, getting a normal run, maybe getting him back to being the offensive player he's been most of the season.
Oh my God. Big Cheesy bringing up Lou Dort. Blast from the past. 10.5 points at plus 110. I could be on that.
In the late third. He'll get that in the late third, according to the model. So there you go.
Wow. All right. The people are demanding Giddey in the chat. So let's just break down his goal, points, rebounds, assists, PRA, all of it.
Yeah. So if you like him, then I think we're going to have value on all those numbers. If you think he's going to have a big game but don't like him, then take his turnovers. That's what I do. Mm-hmm. Over turnovers is an interesting play if he's on the court that much. We got plus money this feed was updated. We got good value, line value at least on the assists, on the points. We actually have a slight under his rebounds, but it's minus 156 on the under. So 6.2 is basically the same number. It's a little riskier, but it might be okay. According to the model, strict values, the values with our points and assists and not necessarily rebounds.
I just I like Giddey as much as the next guy. I just never know how many minutes he's going to end up playing. It scares me.
He hit his number last time I had him on any bet, but he had in this 22-minute game. So that makes you feel good. He had a couple games where he's barely cracked 20 or hasn't even cracked 20, and he still played well. He still produced big numbers.
Yeah. Maybe Giddey's back. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's move on to Memphis headed to Golden State here. Golden State 10.5 point favorites here. We got a dog in the house.
Yeah.
Pumped up about Golden State.
I was just yelling to my family about keeping our dog quiet. Apparently, I have more respect for the show and the audience than some people on this call.
Hey, Moose just likes little plays. Hey, don't hate him.
Yeah. This is a little word wise. If you believe in ATS strengths, Memphis is an underrated road team. They're 20-14 against the spread. They almost didn't cover against Sacramento, even though that game went to overtime. They lost by double digits and they went a 0-12 run in overtime. And Golden State stinks at home this year against the spread. So just a little warning that Memphis doesn't go down without swinging. My Santi Aldama pick that hit the other day easily isn't alive for this pick. So I'm going to go with a simple Jaren Jackson Jr. over at not too bad a price. He averages more on the road. The over is very strong on the road. It's not good at home. There's a buy low opportunity that he snapped out of. He had 3 straight unders and snapped out with 25. Similar scoring centers. In this case, it's Wembanyama, Karl Anthony Towns, and Sengun. So you know who they are. They average 23 points a game. They average 25.3 versus Golden State at home and 26.5 at Golden State. So people with centers with similar skills, offensive skills, have much better than average scoring versus Golden State.
I'd like to track our bets that we use with that specific stat logic because I feel like they've been doing well.
Anecdotally, maybe, but I think I have in my mind and haven't been great. So I don't use every time I use Jake's weird statistical request, I'm 5-1. I don't have that, dude. I don't have that meta level analysis yet, but
we'll get
it
there.
Could be. Yeah. But how about someone who's really got nothing going on archive our show and read through the transcripts and figure that out for us?
Yes. I was looking at my phone because I'm looking at the next game. The Clippers headed to Portland. You have DeAndre Ayton bet, and I saw. Did anyone see the social media post where he was like, "People don't know me, people don't get me"? I was on an air mattress this time last year.
Yeah. He said he was sleeping on an air mattress for 3 months. He's making $30 million a year.
Yeah. Did he want us to cry for him?
What? That's their fault, And but he plays does he still play an obscene amount of video games?
Here it is. People forget the human difference of me adjusting. The humane difference of me adjusting. I was on an air mattress. I'm sorry. What? Why?
Well, I don't know.
You can buy a bed. I don't even care if you don't have a house. Buy a bed.
Maybe he's like Kwame Brown when he first got drafted by the Wizards. He didn't know how to take care of himself. But since he looked like a grown man, everyone assumed that he was. He bought a bunch of suits because back then you had to travel in suits, I think. And he didn't know that you wash suits. And he didn't know you could wear a suit jacket multiple times while washing it. So he just had a friend come over and said, like, why you have all these suits crumbled? He would just take them off and crumble them in the corner. So it just, but that's not an excuse for DeAndre Ayton. That just how miserable it was to be a Wizards fan when you were excited about getting the number one pick and that number one pick ends up being Kwame Brown. Yes. That's my sub story. So my Ayton turnover bet probably is still alive if you take the alternate 1.5 line. It's just going to be priced pretty steep. This is only, I think, minus 160 earlier this morning. The average line is 2.5 with good plus money on the over. I don't like the 2.5 plus money over. I like a solid paying the price for 1.5. The model's at 2.4 turnovers. He's got a higher home average, but the biggest thing is he's been a beast recently. They've been running through offense through him. He's getting tons of shots, tons of points. He's been a pretty consistent 25 and 15 type player. So during this stretch where he's been an offensive monster, the turnovers are also, just like Cade Cunningham, are also up. So 10-4, 71%. When playing 37 more minutes, and recently 7-2, 78% with this monster streak.
Mm-hmm.
If you play DFS, like I know that underdog, like Derek has said, that they still have free play options. His his turnover totals at 2, so you may play that.
Dude, I'm loving seeing the ladies in the chat here. We got 2 ladies in the chat, Erica and Jessica. Shout out, women power. Let's go. Anyway, sorry guys. Let's move on. Let's go to Philadelphia, headed to Phoenix.
This is hard to believe, but I'm a very attractive person to women on YouTube.
Yes, they all came for you, Steven.
It's not a joke. It's not a joke.
All right. Yes, love that for you. So this game is interesting. This pick is interesting. Kevin Durant over 4.5 assists. You can get at plus money, but 3.5 is kind of the consensus.
Yeah. Okay. This case, I'm going to go against my previous logic. I do like the plus value on 4.5. So I hadn't coded anything new for a little while. So I wrote a script to look at his splits when big three are all playing at least 20 minutes. And assuming I didn't mess up, that average is still solid 5.1, so not as big. So obviously he's sharing the ball, so everyone's usage might go down. So his overall average is a little lower than his season average when the big three are all playing 20 plus minutes, but the over is still 15-9. So with our model value projected for over 4.5, this little ditty over 50%, I think I'll risk it to get this kind of plus money at 4.5. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is safe. I feel it should be a lock at 3.5.
Mm-hmm. The people caught on to the 3.5. That's for sure. Yeah. It's pretty pricey now. All right. I don't see any questions on that game. So we're going to go quickly to Jake has a few MLB plays for us as we slowly get our way into the season here. We'll start with, this is a play we also were on yesterday, right?
I had to recycle a couple of them. Profaro, I think, was at plus 140 not to get a hit yesterday. He got a hit, but because he got a hit, I like this playing the under here, especially that he was right around the Mendoza line last year. So a lot of averages say that he shouldn't get a hit today. We have him in the model around getting hit right around 0.65% of sim. So you're getting pretty good value at plus 150 here. And he got pinch hit for after just 2 at-bats today. So that's the hope. He gets in, maybe plays 5 innings and gets pinch hit for.
Yeah. In that crazy brain of yours, how you think about, is there anything that we should know about the matchup with Yoshinobu Yamamoto? And
so Yamamoto, he won the Japanese equivalent of the Cy Young for the last 3 years. So he's I mean, he's getting paid like one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the world. So he's going to be hard to hit, even though he has struggled a little in spring training. I was looking at yes run first inning. If we have yes run first inning, we would say that at minus 119. You could get it at like plus 102 on most. Like I think that's the best price on the books. So we have slight value. I was looking at that because he could struggle a little out the gate, just adjusting to a new ball. It seems like baseball is a baseball, but it's completely different.
It's not a fun topic to discuss, but Koreans hate Japanese typically. There's a bomb threat. It wasn't a legit one, but there's a bomb threat against Ohtani for game one. And so this is the Seoul series. So this might be some if there's going to be aggression from the Korean fans, it's going to be towards him.
So maybe bet Ha-Sung Kim to get
exactly. It's gonna when Kim comes up again in that maybe first inning, it's going to be not. You're not going to see the friendly Korean smiling face you see right in front of you. You'll see a very different reaction.
And so I like Profar plus 150. Just going back to the law of averages, he got this hit yesterday. I don't think he's going to get many plate appearances. He's going to hit the bottom of the order, subbed out defensive wise. So I like that there. A couple other plays. I like Jason Hayward under half a hit. He had one at bat today before he got subbed out for. It's interesting. So DraftKings will void a bet if they come in as a pinch hitter, but FanDuel they won't. So depending on the book that you're at, if some books you just need one plate appearance for your bet to hit. Others, if they don't start, it gets voided. But I'm hoping Jason Hayward starts again and only plays a couple innings. He gets subbed out again. And
is that reflected in the juice between the two?
It is reflected in the juice. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The more you know. The more you know, kids, bringing you stats, politics, international politics.
Long history. You don't understand. It's deep.
We're so well-rounded here.
Who was the analogy we used for Yamamoto in our model?
Kodai Senga. We used his stats. And I was looking at Senga's starts from last year. His first couple of starts were pretty good. Then he had a little rough patch after his first two starts, and then he was dominant. So that's what I was looking at. I was thinking with the yes run, no run first inning, I was looking back at the Senga starts, and he was pretty good to start. But it is a little bit of a adjustment with the different baseballs that they use. So I don't mind plus money at yes run first inning. I was talking to our friend John, and he is on the over in this game too. So I think I'm leaning over. I played an alt line over 6.5. Paired with under strikeouts for Joe Musgrove at under 5.5. We have Musgrove at 6 strikeouts, but in 6 innings pitched, and the most he pitched in spring training was 4.1 innings, and he got roughed up in his 3 starts in spring training. So it's good looking at the strikeouts in terms of innings pitched, and so if he goes under 5, we should have him under 5 strikeouts. His line's at 5.5.
Mm-hmm. I mean, bad news for the books. Baseball Jake is back, and he has no remorse, it seems.
Good news for the rabbit hole lovers.
Good news for the rabbit hole. Bad news for the books. We are so back with baseball. All right. Plenty of information for today. We're about just an hour out of the first play-in game tomorrow. Things get crazy. We'll have some live betting ready to go for the team. We'll make sure we have some plays for you guys all over March Madness. Again, any early act now plays on Twitter, I'm sure we'll put out. Steven and Jake will put their plays out as well. So happy March Madness Eve, everyone, I should say. Very excited for everyone. Good luck with your bets tonight, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock.